should make you stronger. So my problems is like steroids, boy. I get my doses from all kinds of sources, and all of them still can't kill me now. You see, as them sink me under high flow, ride out the storm, them just like a boat. So as they box me down, so I get up. They have to wonder how others get up. And every crack I see, I just see through. And by the help of God, I just get through. I just won't stop. I feel like hope. Move any mountain, I trample any building like hope. Man better than monster. Dismantle any strong tower, boy. Trample them, trample them, trample them, trample them. Rip up my shot and bust up my jeans and step on my problems. Then what we gonna do? Trample them, trample them, trample them. Kick out them, kick out my problems, kick out my problems. Trials and testings does come before blessings, but we have to be patient, yeah. Weeping and mourning in the night, but joy in the morning. But we just have to endure. You see, God, the way no night come, so you don't really need to lie down. Them say what goes around comes right back around. I go wait until my time come. So from sun up straight to sunset, you could catch I bust in a sweat. I must climb out. I feel like hope. Move any mountain, I trample any building like hope. Man better than monster. Dismantle any strong tower, boy. Trample them, trample them, trample them, trample them. Rip up my shot and bust up my jeans and step on my problems. Then what we gonna do? Trample them, trample them, trample them. Kick out them, kick out my problems, kick out my problems. You see, the Most High never give us more than we can bear, but He give us the strength and the will and the power and the courage to handle our problems through Him. So on the count of 4, I want everybody step on their problems. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trample them, trample them, trample them, trample them. Manhandle them, manhandle them. Dismantle them, dismantle them. Trample them, trample them, trample them. Kick out them, kick out their problems, kick out their problems. You see, the Most High never give us more than we can bear, but He give us the strength and the will and the power and the courage to handle our problems through Him. So on the count of 4, I want everybody step on their problems. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trample them, trample them, trample them, trample them. Manhandle them, manhandle them. Dismantle them, dismantle them. Trample them, trample them, trample them. Kick out them, kick out their problems, kick out their problems. Yes. But He give us the strength and the will and the power and the courage to handle our problems through Him. So on the count of 4, I want everybody step on their problems. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trample them, trample them, trample them, trample them. Manhandle them, manhandle them. Dismantle them, dismantle them. Trample them, trample them, trample them, trample them. Manhandle them, manhandle them. Dismantle them, dismantle them. Trample them, trample them, trample them. Kick out them, kick out their problems, kick out their problems. You see, the Most High never give us more than we can bear, but He give us the strength and the will and the power and the courage to handle our problems through Him. So on the count of 4, I want everybody step on their problems. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trample them, trample them, trample them, trample them. Manhandle them, manhandle them. Dismantle them, dismantle them. Trample them, trample them, trample them. Kick out them, kick out their problems, kick out their problems. You see, the Most High never bear, but He give us the strength and the will and the power and the courage to handle our problems through Him. So on the count of 4, I want everybody step on their problems. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trample them, trample them, trample them, trample them. Manhandle them, manhandle them. Dismantle them, dismantle them. Trample them, trample them, trample them. Kick out them, kick out their problems, kick out their problems. So as they sink you under, you float. Ride on the storm, them just like a boat. So as they push you down, so you get up. They have to wonder how you does get up. And every crack you see, you does see through. And by the help of God, you will get through. Now everybody stop. I feel like
Gentlemen, this meeting now. Wow. This meeting now is formally called.
Should make you stronger. So my problems is like steroids, boy. I get my doses from all kinds of sources, and all of them still can't kill me now. You see, as them sink me under high flow, ride out the storm, them just like a boat. So as the box me down, so I get up. They have to wonder how others get up, and every crack I see, I just see through. And by the help of God, I just get through. I just won't stop. I feel like hope.
To fraternize, re-establish your contacts with your friends and your families and party members. I will join you all a few minutes time back on up here. Thank you.
As you walk with us to the part of life, you will never have to walk alone. Come on!
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a rising sun.
Look for the rising sun.
And the sweet silver songs of the sky.
Put God in front, and we'll walk behind.
Walk on through the wind. Walk on through the rain.
Door to door and hand in
Though
hand.
your dreams be tossed and blown, walk on, walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk
So put your hands up high and let's reach for the sky for the rising sun. Come walk with us. We'll walk with you. And you'll never walk alone. Never walk alone. Never walk alone. Never walk alone. You'll never walk alone with the UNC.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the United National Congress Monday night cottage meeting, live from the UNC headquarters. We thank you for your unwavering support of your country and your party. Now, please stand for the national anthem, and then Remain standing for the prayer.
Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare, side by side we stand, highlands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land, we pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Almighty God, most beneficial and merciful, Creator of the universe and embodiment of divine wisdom and light, we come before you with thanksgiving and praise. May your will be done in our nation as it is in the heavens. Please bless our political leader, party officials, activists, and all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Give us the grace to always see good, be good, and do good, and the courage to serve the people. Protect us as we stand against injustice and iniquity, and inspire our endeavors to find the right solutions to the problems that are affecting our fellow citizens. Grant that we may always work together with humility and respect for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of our country.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Political leader of the United National Congress, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, members of Parliament of the opposition, councillors, chairmen of regional corporations, our dedicated UNC army, and those listening to us live, a special good evening and a warm welcome to each one of you. This evening, we are at the UNC headquarters at Chaguanas, where we are full and overflowing. This evening is a special Monday's meeting. This evening, we will also have the installation of the new National Executive of the United National Congress. Our Elections Management Committee has officially announced that Kenwin Phillip is the Tobago Regional Coordinator. Stand up, let them see you. Mr. Eli Zakur is the Northwest Regional Coordinator. Ms. Shanti Budram is the South Regional Coordinator. MP Vandana Mohit is the Central Regional Coordinator. Mr. Sean Sobers is the Research Officer. MP Khadija Amin is the Northeast Coordinator. Nicholas Morris, International Relations Officer. MP Ravi Raturam, Education Officer. Alderman Viliana Ramutar Singh, Treasurer. MP Arnold Ram, Election Officer. MP Saddam Hussein, Policy and Strategy Officer. Mr. Hamlin Jailal, Vice Chairman. Mr. Barry Padara, Party Organizer. MP David Lee, Deputy Political Leader. MP Rudal Munilal, Deputy Political Leader. Senator Jerlyn John, Deputy Political Leader. And my co-host tonight will be the gentleman who has returned as our chairman of the UNC, Mr. Dave Tanku. My co-host will now introduce the next speaker, and I want you to give him a real good, warm welcome. He's a very hard-working chairman of the UNC as we go into tonight's Monday meeting.
Thank you very much, Member of Parliament for St. Augustine, my sister Khadija Amin. Your first speaker. So we have a battery of speakers here tonight that will be bringing fire upon fire upon fire. And bringing the first set of fire to you, ladies and gentlemen, is a young man. Before entering active politics, he served 4 years in the Foreign Service. He is better known as a Peppermouth MP in the Parliament. And he serves Princestown's people. And he serves as well as the Central Coordinator from 2022 to 2024. He, ladies and gentlemen, is the Shadow Minister for Public Utilities. He holds a Bachelor's in Government and International Relations and a postgraduate degree in Communications and a Diploma in Law. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for MP Barry Padara.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you. Everything you do, yeah, they were all yellow.
Political leader of the United National Congress and the best Prime Minister Trinidad and Tobago has ever had, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar. My colleagues on the newly minted National Executive of the UNC, are you here with us this evening? Parliamentary colleagues from both the upper and lower houses of Parliament, local government fraternity colleagues, our UNC faithful all. The battle was fought. Some are politically dead. Others are badly wounded. The dust has settled, but today we return to you in triumph and in victory as your loyal, dedicated servants of our great party. As we forge ahead, we take with us a strong, disciplined, united, and competent team whose common enemy is the people's national movement, but whose common goal is restoring good governance to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Tonight, we call for all genuine hands to join us on deck. The Bible tells us, if anyone doesn't want to work, they should not eat. The Bible says if anyone does not want to work, they should not eat. My brothers and sisters, you have been working, you have been toiling, not by word, but by deed. Unlike others, our work has been by deed and not by mouth. Our NATEX, led by the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, has been focused, data-driven, analytical, and most importantly, results-oriented. Our leader is a hard taskmaster. And when she gives you a job to do, you're required to yield excellent results. Otherwise, you get out of the way. I saw the front page of the newspaper today with Rowley saying we will beat them. The only people who are being beaten by Rowley are those who are beaten on a daily basis on the issue of good health care. They are beating education. They are beating cost of living. They are beating hard-working citizens of this country. The only people they are not beating is their colleagues in the area of crime and criminality. Those are their friends, and those are the ones they refuse to beat. I saw the Trinidad Express had an editorial, and I want to say to the Trinidad Express tonight, the editorial was entitled yesterday, "Kamla is at a crossroad." I want to say to the Express that on June 15th, the membership of the United National Congress had the opportunity to choose. They chose the star team, led, endorsed by Kamla Persad-Bissessar. And on June 15th, they chose the road that the UNC will be walking. There is no crossroad. The only party that is at a crossroad today is the People's National Movement. We want to tell the Express that it was the UNC on June 15th, Saturday, June 15th, that brought out over 18,000 of its members to the polls. A party that is in opposition brought out twice the amount of members that a sitting prime minister in the People's National Movement elections in 2022. When Rowley ran as political leader of the PNM, he got 8,000 votes. Kamla Persad-Bissessar over the period of 3 days. 3 days. Their election was the 26th, the 27th, and the 28th of November 2022. The UNC on June 15th had 1 day, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And you came out in your numbers. And therefore, the party has said that Kamla Persad-Bissessar will lead the national executive and a team into the general elections on behalf of our great party. Let us make it a brothers and sisters, this party is on its way to victory. We have been putting our house in order, and tonight, as your party organizer incoming, I can tell you the work that we have been doing over the past couple of years. This evening, I asked our international relations officer and our PRO to pull the statistics of the amount of meetings that we have held as a national executive over the last 2 years. Monday night meetings, Sunday pressers, midweek pressers, pre-budget consultations, pavement reports, speak out, family days, sport days, national elections, rallies, protests, anti-crime town hall meetings. In 2022, 67. In 2023, 98. In 2024, 132. Your party is strong. Your party. I saw the apologist of the PNM, and I want you to know, anytime there's a general election and the PNM's backs are against the wall, the same newspaper who spends 5 years cussing the PNM and pointing out everything wrong with the PNM, they get into their section when election times roll about. There are two party groups that aids and abets the PNM when their backs against the wall in a general election. One is the media, and two is the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And brothers and sisters, those are the two that we can look out for in the days ahead. I want you to understand that just a few days ago, the Trinidad Express, the Trinidad Guardian, they are talking about the by-election results in what happened in Queen Mon Diablo and what happened in Lengua Indian Walk. It was Professor Hamid Ghani that put it in the right context. in Lengua Indian Walk, the only time the UNC ever held that seat was in 2019. That has always been a PNM seat that falls squarely in Maruga Tablan. I want you to understand this and understand it well. The only results that the PNM apologists will not speak to you about is the local government election results that saw the United National Congress getting 42,000 more votes than the People's National Movement. This was not in Pinal, it was not in Princetown, it was not in Kuva Tabeki Talparo. It was in Enterprise North and South in the constituency of Chaguanas East under our sister Vandana Mohit. It is in Guayari in the constituency of Mayaro. It was in Marabella West and Marabella South in the constituency that we are bringing home, taking it away from Faris Al-Rawi from the PNM. It was in Sawa Lavantil with our brother Saddam Hussein. It was in Diego Martin West, Diego Martin Northeast, and Diego Martin Central. It was in the constituency of Tunapuna. And where's Kenwin Phillip? It was in the great constituency of Sangre Grande. And brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, those results are not because of luck and because of chance. It is because of hard work and the dedication of your national executive and your political leader. When I can tell you here that we stand on the shoulders of giants that came before us, and today we are continuing along the great pathway to ensure that our party's affairs are in order. Tonight I want to tell you that it was the STAR team that held over 120 meetings under our deputy political leader, Rudal Munilal, our deputy political leader, David Lee, our deputy political leader on the East-West Corridor, Senator Jolene John, Jailal, our chairman, Dave Tanku. We are not stopping there. The work has just begun. We intend on continuing this great journey. Tonight I want to tell you that in 1 month's time, from now until the end of July, we will be visiting every nook and every cranny as your national executive members, putting our constituency executive on election footing. Our political leader has opened and she has also closed nominations for general elections. We are way ahead of the PNM. We are ensuring that our party affairs are in order. And therefore, we are asking you tonight to stand with us and work with us. That when we go in with your constituency executives, that we go in with your activists, we go in with those who will be the heart and soul, the warm bodies, the boots on the ground for the next general elections. You will stand with us, and you will walk with us, and you will work with us. I ask you this evening to join and recommit yourselves as we take our oath of office today as your incoming national executive. We are very much reminded that it is on your shoulders that we stand, and it is because of your work and your votes that puts us in the position of trust and confidence as your incoming national executive. I want to take the opportunity to thank our political leader for her strength, her resilience, and her guidance in the face of all the criticism, unwarranted, that she has stood up with a STAR team. She has defeated our enemies from within. She has defeated our enemies on the outside. And come general election night, the UNC will form the next government under the astute leadership of Kamla Persad-Bissessar, and an executive that will spend their time working in your interest and not working against you and the people of our great country. May God continue to bless our great party. May God continue to bless our political leader. And may God continue to bless the great people of the United National Congress. I thank you.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you.
Let us hear it for our incoming party organizer, Barry Padara. Our next speaker is a brilliant young attorney at law with significant experience in civil law. He is a former senator in the 11th Parliament and the outgoing research officer of the UNC. And if I'm not mistaken, he was the youngest opposition senator in the 11th Parliament. He is the shadow minister for legal affairs and attorney general. And he does have that fella going. What you name? What you name? The one who went and lie in England or somewhere on a Limo. He keeps our attorney general in check. He is a graduate of the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill, graduate of Hugh Wooding Law School, where he graduated in the principal's role of honor, winning the Justice Wendell Kangaroo. You see this typo? This is a very wicked typo. Saddam won the Justice Wendell Kangaroo Advocacy Award. I want you to welcome our next Policy and Strategy Officer, MP Saddam Hussein.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you. Everything you do.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sister Khadija. Thank you very much. UNC family, good evening. UNC family, good evening. Thank you all for joining us here at our United National Congress headquarters after a very long, grueling, but successful internal election. Tonight I stand humble as your Policy and Strategy Officer of the United National Congress, and all of my colleagues on the STAR team are humbled and privileged by the support, the tremendous support that you gave to us last Saturday. And while we thank those who have supported us, we also would want to congratulate those who have also exercised their rights in the party that may not have voted for us. We are all UNC, we are proud, we have one enemy, and we will defeat the PNM. We will defeat the PNM. The internal elections are behind us, but what is coming forward is the general election. That is the war that we will win, and we will defeat Keith Rowley, and we will defeat this wicked PNM government. We'll defeat them. Have no ifs and buts about that. We will defeat them. Because they have suffered us. We have a collapsing economy. We have a runaway crime situation, and we have one of the most corrupt, inept, incompetent government in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. They are absolutely incompetent. They are absolutely incompetent. And when we talk about corruption, they have a habit. My brothers and sisters, when they found massive corruption in Petrotrin, what they do with it? They shut it down. There's no massive corruption in the secondary roads rehabilitation company. What they do with it? They shut it down. But more will be said about that company here tonight. But tonight I want to set something right, because the PNM has a nasty narrative. They continuously lie about the UNC and the UNC members in the parliament. They have said that we don't support legislation. They said we don't support legislation. That is a big fat lie. I have a list here, my brothers and sisters, of over 35 legislation, crime-fighting bills that we have supported. We have given you the commitment that we will support good legislation. We will not support bad legislation. And every time they pass bad law, what happened? They end up in the courthouse and they lost. They lost. And that cost the taxpayers millions and millions of dollars in legal fees. That is what it cost this country, millions of dollars. But tonight I want to give you some of the bills that we supported. The Administrator of Justice Indictable Proceedings Bill 23, the Firearms Bill 2022, the Summary Courts Act 2021, the Miscellaneous Provisions Bill 2021, Sexual Offences Bill number 2 of 2021, the Firearms Bill 2021, Electronic Payments in and out court, Mutual Assistance in Criminal Matters, Anti-Gang, Evidence, Cannabis, Domestic Violence, Administration of Justice, Dangerous Drugs, Tax Information, Bail, Trespass, Anti-Terrorism Laws, Trial by Judge alone. We have supported all of these legislation, and then these fellas have the gall to stand up in Parliament and say that we don't support legislation. You hear a lie? You hear lie? That is lie. They have continuously lied on us. And we have the parliamentary record to show that we have supported the legislation. But let me tell you something that happened in Parliament on Friday. There were two bills. One bill deals with polygraph testing for members of the protective services. The other bill deals with whistleblower protection. Rowley on a Friday stand up in Parliament. He pilot the bill. And before he wind up the bill, Camille stand up and say, well, we want to adjourn the House. Rowley is the night watchman. You know, Monday after that, Rowley pilot the bill, he meets with a fella called Jindal. You know who is Jindal? A man from India who is interested in the refinery, who is charged for corruption and kickback. And that is the man Rowley meet and want to talk to us about whistleblower. You ever see a bigger hypocrite than Rowley? You ever see a bigger hypocrite than Rowley? And then they will say that we don't support the legislation. Well, I want to tell you about this whistleblowing thing, you know. Because since 2015, this thing has been in the Parliament. They brought that bill with a simple majority, which means that all they could do is pass it with their numbers. Election come, election go on 2020, they bring it back. But they send the bill on a joint select committee. And tonight I have the legal opinion from the Chief Parliamentary Counsel that when this bill came as a special majority, he tell them, marshal your brakes, put a simple majority, put a special majority clause in that bill because it breaches your constitutional rights. Black and white here, brothers and sisters. And you know what the CPC also tell them? He said, even if you get the special majority and they take this to court, it will be deemed unconstitutional, invalid, and void. That is what the CPC is saying. The 2015 bill is almost identical to the 2022 bill, brothers and sisters. Look at here, black and white. This opinion was given to that Joint Select Committee by Ian McIntyre, Senior Counsel, Chief Parliamentary Counsel. And then the PNM come on Friday and say, well, we're going to take out this special majority and we'll pass it with simple majority. I think they get an extra vote. But they didn't need that vote. But that is what our colleagues have associated themselves with, and we must reject that type of politics. We must reject it. Because you want to know something? I don't like to take legal advice from a fella called Faris Al-Rawi. But you know Faris Al-Rawi, when he was Attorney General in 2022, he tell the government, this is on the parliamentary record, that you can't pass the bill with a simple majority. But Amo tell him you can do it. Who you want to believe? Amo or Faris? Well, the two of them bad, eh? But I go listen to I will listen to Sarab and CPC McIntyre. Because up to Faris has advised the government in the parliament, he said, look, I am instructed to go back to the drawing board to see whether a simple majority law could be crafted. Unfortunately, there is no way to provide for whistleblowing protection in that form. Black and white parliamentary record on the 4th of February 2022. That is what Faris advised the parliament of. They needed a special majority. And what that bill does, it does two things. It interferes with your right to privacy, which is a constitutionally guaranteed right. And the second thing it does, it also allows a person, well, not allow, it disallows a person to go to court. So if somebody blow a whistle on you as an employer, because this thing don't apply to government only, you know. It applies to the private sector, no matter where you work, the entire private sector, be it a gas station, a supermarket, every single where this bill applies to. And you know what is the frightening thing? You cannot go to court on this bill, and CPC McIntyre is saying that if it is passed, that will be in contravention with the rule of law and it will be struck down as unconstitutional. So you can get 3/5 majority, it does not matter. The bill is totally unconstitutional. It is unconstitutional. But I want to raise an next issue here tonight because this one hot off the press. I got a statement today from the president of the Law Association about the silk matter. Now, they say they're sharing silk by the bolt in Port of Spain now, you know. They share a bolt last year and they're sharing a bolt this year. You know what them fellas do? The Law Association said that they were consulted on this matter. And they were consulted, yes. And they finalized names because the Law Association met with other senior counsels to see all the applications that were submitted. And they submitted a list of names to the Attorney General. So they said we are supporting these persons to be senior counsel. On the 14th of June 2024, the Attorney General wrote back the Law Association president and said, well, we're going to appoint these persons. You know that I don't know what Rowley do in the cabinet, but like he take the list and he crumple it up and he pelt it away. He have rejected the names that the Law Association would have nominated. Rowley has rejected the names of senior counsels. Look at here in black and white. The Law Association is saying the LAT would request to be provided with the applications and could demand an explanation why its choices were not selected. Why is Rowley doing this? We must get rid of Rowley. They have tainted the legal profession. The legal profession is there to defend you and your rights and uphold your constitutional privileges and protection in this country. But Rowley has used his dirty political hands to taint that entire process, and we must reject that kind of behavior from a cabinet, from a PNM cabinet in this country. Why have you rejected the names that the Law Association put forward? So tonight, I call on Rowley and I call on Armour. Give us the names that the Law Association would have nominated as senior counsels. Tell us if Faris Al-Rawi name was on that list. Tell us if Keith Scotland name was on that list, because we demand to know. This kind of politics, I tell you, my brothers and sisters, will be rejected. It will only get worse, and we must do all in our favor, in all our might, in all our strength to remove this wicked, uncaring, corrupt PNM government. So I see that my time is nearing an end, my brothers and sisters. But we will continue to fight for you inside and outside of the parliament. This new NATEX will bring home victory to the United National Congress and take us back on the corridors of power in Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you very much.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you.
Put your hands together for the incoming policy and strategy officer, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Saddam Hussein. Your next speaker is a dragon. With over 30 years in the corporate world and in the financial sector, with significant experience and having worked at the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago for over 15 years. He's a former chairman of the United National Congress during the period 2015 to 2017. He served as the deputy political leader since 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, serving his second term as the Member of Parliament for Pointe-à-Pierre, he is the opposition chief whip in our parliament. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Dr. David Lee.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you.
Before I start, I want to allow you to allow our political leader to enter. She should be entering any time now, based on what Khadija Amin just told me. So can we? I know she had a little hiccup there on.
I get my doses from all kinds of sources, and all of them still can't kill me now. You see, as them stick me on the ice, so right off the storm and just like Cabo. So as the box me up, so I get up. They have to wonder how others get up, and every crack I see, I just see through. And by the help of God, others get through. I just want stop. I feel like hope. Things just come before blessings, but we have to be patient, yeah. We've been unholding in the night, but joy in the morning, but we just have to endure. You see, God, the way on I go, so you don't really need to lie down. Them say what goes around comes right back around. I go wait until the time comes. So from sun up straight to sunset, you can catch I bust in a sweat. I must trample them, trample them, trample them. But me shut and bust up with Jesus. Step on me problems, then what we gonna do? Trample them, trample them, trample them. Kick out them, kick out my problems, kick out my problems. You see, the Most High never give us more than we can bear, but He give us the strength and the will and the power and the courage to handle our problems through Him. So on the count of 4, I want everybody step on their problems. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trample them, trample them, trample them, trample them. Manhandle them, manhandle them. Dismantle them, dismantle them. Trample them, trample them, trample them. Kick out them, kick out your problems, kick out your problems. Never let your problems get you down. Stay focused and hold your ground. Because what will kill you should make you stronger. So my problems is like steroids, boy. I get my doses from all kinds of sources. I don't know them still can kill me now. You see, as them stick me on the high.
And we welcome our political leader, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar and Dr. Bissessar, who's accompanying her this afternoon.
I feel like Hulk. Move any mountain and trample any building like Hulk. Man better than monster, dismantle any
As we
structure.
welcome the 17 stars.
Trample them, trample them, trample them. But me shut and bust up with Jesus. Step on me problems, then what we gonna do? Trample them, trample them, trample them. Kick out them, kick out my problems, kick out my problems. Trials and testings does come before blessings.
Let me say welcome to our political leader tonight and Dr. Gregory Persad in our UNC headquarters. Can we give them another round of applause before I start? Thank you, leader, for joining us here tonight. In the essence of time and protocol, UNC family, tonight as a deputy political leader of the UNC, I thank all of you who have participated in our internal elections to strengthen our party as this new national executive continues to stand up to the PNM, continues to fight to secure your families, and is on a journey to putting your party into government. Trinidad and Tobago in 2020, when we took the oath as an opposition member of parliament, we committed to protect the people of this nation from any abuse of power from this wicked government. We vow to protect every citizen from any abuse of their freedoms, constitutional rights, and their ability to prosper. Tonight, as Chief Whip, I confirm that no other opposition has stood in defense of the people of this nation as we have done in our 12th parliament. Last Friday, you know, people don't want to talk about it. I will talk about it tonight. Last Friday, as an opposition, we took a principled stand that we had a duty to protect every sector of this country from the possible occurrences of political abuse, malicious attacks, false persecutions, and false allegations which can ruin the lives of the citizens of this great country. If this whistleblower bill was passed, you heard it from Saddam Hussein, we had a duty to protect you, to defend you by voting against this piece of legislation. But while some of us have put the internal politics behind us to focus on fixing the national chaos that is being perpetrated by this wicked government, some colleagues may be misguided, and worse, they are attempting to misinform you, the people of this nation. As Chief Whip and a fellow member of parliament, I take no pleasure here tonight in having to publicly denounce the actions of another colleague. But when those actions betray the members of our great party, when those actions betray the values of the UNC, and when those actions seek to validate a wicked government that has shown disdain to our citizens, I have to stand up here tonight. Tonight, as the opposition chief whip, I denounce and reject the politically vindictive actions of MP Rai Ragbir. To tell the population that his support for the PNM in Parliament on Friday was in the national interest of our country. Tonight, I want to set the record straight. MP Ragbir's vote for the whistleblowing legislation was not a vote in the national interest. I have some timelines here, my brothers and sisters. I want to remind Dr. Ragbi, I am sure he's listening here tonight. On the 3rd of February 2022, you would have heard from Saddam that this same whistleblower legislation was between 2015 and 2020, and we voted in the 11th Parliament against that piece of legislation. It was a 3/5, and we voted against it. On the 3rd of February 2022, he said we don't do anything. The leader of the opposition emailed all members of Parliament a detailed research brief on the whistleblower bill, including the dangers of the bill at 5:50 p.m. The package and the email included a research brief, talking points, legal brief, and accompanying Jamaican Protected Disclosure Act, the Hansard summary of the 2019 when we voted against the bill, 3 JSC documents on the stakeholders' comments, the CPC's opinion that Saddam spoke about, and whistleblower articles. That is what our leader emailed to each and every one of us, our members of and senators. On the 3rd of February, same day, 2022, at 7:30 p.m., maybe about an hour and a half, Rai Ragbi responds to the leader's email of saying, and he said he received it, and I thank you. He thanked the leader for receiving the research brief, the legal brief, everything that went along with the whistleblower bill, and then he scans up and makes a release, says that we don't give him anything. 4th of February, next day, 2022, in Parliament, a caucus was held at 12:30 p.m. in the conference room. Ahead of the sitting to discuss the vote, members agreed about the dangers of that 2022 whistleblower bill. It's the same bill in 2019 that this PNM brought back, and it must be rejected. All members in that caucus, including Dr. Rai Ragbi, agreed to vote no. The 4th of February, debate started. MP Rambali spoke. I want to read out what MP Rambali said. The bill before us, which is the whistleblower bill, I want to emphasize this point. Sadly, it is very flawed. With such, and we have just heard it from the member of San Fernando West who would have debated, with such heavy constitutional importance attaching to it, one would have expected a little bit more care and discretion to have gone into it. MP Charles spoke on that day. I want to say what MP Charles said, and I quote, and the question we ask, does the PNM seriously expect the population to believe they care about protecting whistleblowers in our country? Even their record of suppression and victimization of all those speak for itself. So these two colleagues spoke against the whistleblower bill in 2022. The bill lapsed because the PNM did not take a vote. They brought back the same bill last week, 2 weeks ago, as Saddam said, on the 7th of June 2024. Same bill. The government gave notice that whistleblower bill will be debated on the 14th of June. The usual Parliament caucus is held in the conference room after the session discussed the bill, but Rai and company does not attend. Members expressed the same concerns in 2019 and 2022 as it is the same bill. Members expressed the need to vote against this piece of legislation. A final voting would be taken, a decision. So ladies and gentlemen, Rai Ragbi, since the internal election has started against the star team, has never come back to the caucus room. He spends his time in the tea room, my brothers and sisters, and that is not what your colleagues and your constituents of Kamuto Manzanilla appointed him for. Tonight I call on Ragbi to stop trying to chain up or mislead the population by saying there was no caucus. Tell them the truth, MP Ragbi. Tell the country that it is you who have stopped attending the opposition caucuses. MP Ragbi would know that for 4 years he would have been the first one to arrive in that room. At the end of each sitting, there would be a caucus to discuss all parliamentary businesses for the upcoming sittings. So I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, time is running out. We, your members of parliament, work too damn hard to be hearing what Rai Ragbi has come to say about us. We work too hard. Our leader works too hard. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight as Chief Whip, I am not just disappointed in the actions of MP Ragbir in the Parliament, but I take significant umbrage with his subsequent statements that have sought to weaken the image of your colleagues, our leader, and the party in the eyes of the population. It is beyond reckless that after he betrayed his constituents and party by voting for the PNM in Parliament, he came to blame the party by saying there was no caucus, no research, and his views were not sought. That is a blatant lie, my brothers and sisters. It's a blatant lie. In the essence of time, I'm running out of time. As Chief Whip, every single MP is sent a reminder and notice of our parliamentary business. We do the work. Every single MP is sent a reminder to submit questions. At the end of every sitting, the Chief Whip, which I email each MP a copy of the upcoming bill and previous accompanying Hansard or bill essentials if there are any to assist in their preparations. With a notice stating, I want to say it, with a notice stating that any MP wishing to contribute is asked to indicate. So we do it, ladies and gentlemen. We do it. I know I'm running out of time, and yes, and I know my leader will deal, and I know Saddam spoke with the Jindal about the Jindal, Mr. Jindal, who is here, about the refinery. But I just want to say, yes, the leader will deal with Jindal. But I want to say before I end, the Petrotrain refinery is the symbol of this government's disdain for our citizens, because thousands were sent on the breadline while hundreds of the small fence line community collapsed, my ladies and gentlemen. And as I end, over the weekend, the Prime Minister put the PNM on election notice. Tonight, I want to tell his cabinet, start packing up, because the United National Congress, led by the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, is ready to win. And we are ready to save this nation. We are ready to rebuild TNT, and we are ready to secure your future. Tonight, I ask you to stand with us as we stand with you and for you. Stand your ground. Stand, stay strong. I thank you.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you.
Give it up for the dragon, the Chief Whip, setting the record straight. Next, we have a former deputy political leader of the UNC, who was the first ever youth officer when the UNC was founded. He is the former Minister of Housing and former leader of government business in Parliament. Let us welcome the Member of Parliament for Oropuch East, with over 20 years experience in the Parliament. He holds a BSc in Government Studies, a PhD in Development Studies, and is a qualified attorney at law. Welcome, newly incoming Deputy Political Leader, Dr. Rudal Munilal.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you. Everything you do.
Thank you very much, Sister Khadija Amin, for the warm welcome, and thank you very much, DJ, for the raw. Thank you very much. Political leader, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, Dr. Gregory Bissessar, members of the National Executive, parliamentary colleagues, constituency officers, brothers and sisters all assembled this evening, brothers and sisters listening to our internet, social media platforms in Trinidad and Tobago and across the world, in Canada, our brother Sukram and others, listening in New York as well, Ricardo. We'd like to welcome you to Chaguanas, our headquarters, for this vibrant, energized meeting of the United National Congress on this special evening when we receive our newly elected, newly minted members of the National Executive of the United National Congress. My brothers and sisters, in the few minutes that I have, I would just like to speak about one important issue dealing with a critical matter.
I don't want to deal too much with the internal election business. All I want to say is I heard David Lee. I thought all the pagal behavior ended with the internal election. I think it's like it get worse. But Barry frightened me with his speech earlier. He made a very powerful presentation, and Barry said, only those who work should eat. I was happy I had an early dinner. Brothers and sisters, I will not dwell too much on that, only to say that, listen, let us focus on the People's National Movement, on Keith Rowley, and removing them out of the government of Trinidad and Tobago. My brothers and sisters, a couple hours ago, yesterday or so, the PNM assembled for something in San Fernando, close to where I live, some frolic or the other. I saw their behavior down there. I couldn't believe it. They had fellas there half naked in a merino. One grab a next one, like he giving them silk. I don't know what kind of behavior is this they're propelling. What kind of behavior is this they're portraying? But I want to come to the statement of Keith Rowley, because I had the misfortune of hearing his statement. And I want to indicate to you that Keith Rowley went to Skinner Park to make a statement boasting about Skinner Park. Do you know Skinner Park cost $200 million to build 2 pavilions? That is essentially the same ground, the same cycle track. Villian is the same fence. At the ground smaller, that ground you cannot play an adult football match in that ground. No professional football. Sean, if you take in a corner, you have to run up from the toilet. They cannot play sport there. $200 million gone. And he went down boasting that we are happy to come to Skinner Park because we built this. Built what? An incoming UNC government must investigate the money spent on Skinner Park in San Fernando. Did we get value for money? And brothers and sisters, he spoke about the Brian Lara Stadium. The Brian Lara Stadium began with a cost of $365 million, ended at $1.2 billion, more than an airport. Do you know they have put out tenders for the Brian Lara to do repairs at the Brian Lara for the cost of another $80 million, having boasted that they open it? Not one program they ever teach at the Brian Lara. Apart from FET match, they cannot play a test match there. That is the Brian Lara. And Rowley boasting, he boasting about these projects. All of them are failed projects of UDCOT that we should investigate in due course. But Rowley down there, and he boasting and attacking the opposition. When he was doing that on the same day, we recorded 3 horrible murders in Matura on the East Coast. 3 murders, brothers and sisters. Even at the PNM meeting, a young boy, Darren Dyer from Pleasantville, was stabbed with buckles down there. I saw a police report on this matter. He was stabbed at midday, broad daylight. The PNM people put up on their social media, they say, no, that happened after the function. That happened hours after. It happened at 12:45 p.m., lunchtime. That is when a young 17-year-old boy from Pleasantville was stabbed. He's in the hospital now. That is a family day. What kind of family is that? The Adams family? What kind of family is that? When we had our family day, we had fun, we sang, we danced, we embraced. That is a UNC family, we don't stab. So brothers and sisters, we take note. The other point I wanted to make in the short time that we have tonight, there was a matter involving a company called the Secondary Roads Rehabilitation Company. Do you know this company was formed only 2 years ago in 2022? They have spent, or they have provided for the company, $200 million. $200 million. We raised on the platform throughout this country. We were raising in all those Monday night meetings that Barry spoke about. We were raising the issue of corruption at that secondary roads improvement rehabilitation company. We raised it with concerning roads in Monrepo, San Fernando, concerning the highway, Claxton Bay. We raised that the PNM had people inside there and they were doing the worst of the worst. Today, there's a letter dated 21st September 2023 addressed to one Beverly Khan, who is the procurement regulator, Office of the Procurement Regulator and so on, Port of Spain. And this letter documents allegations of corruption, bid rigging, bribery, kickback by persons known to the PNM, officers, directors, hired by government ministers. Today we call upon the director of the procurement regulation. Please state what is the update on the investigation on this matter. I call on the director to send this letter of complaint with details to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to merit a full police investigation. This government spent $45 million, hired somebody from England, we call she SRP Kate to investigate. They call her SRP Kate $45 million to investigate what they call wrongdoings under the partnership. Today they must investigate this. And when I'm on that matter, you know election is in the air. I don't have to tell you that, you know that. The PNM will come to you. I know their mantra, I know their hymn, I know their bhajan, I know the dua. I know it all. Once election come, they will come to talk about corruption allegations and the partnership and all the ministers under Kamla Persad-Bissessar. They have no achievement to talk about. So they will come, that is their playbook. Their playbook is to rehash that. Tonight I want to tell you that in 9 years we have been in opposition. Not one minister of the Kamla Persad-Bissessar cabinet has been questioned, has been charged, has been arrested on any matter relating to her government, relating to her cabinet. When I told them that in Parliament, it rocked them because they like to talk about allegations and allegations. You see, Rowley spent all the time he concerned with Rudal. He is concerned with Jindal. That's the problem, eh? But the leader will address not Rudal, but Jindal in a little while. He concerned with we watching here and he stand up posing. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. So brothers and sisters, be alert, be careful and do not buy into that propaganda and narrative when they will seek to say two things. They come in with two lines really, it's a train track. One, corruption and mismanagement and boo, 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 that. Second, when we were there, we spent the money and we emptied treasury, what they used to say with fumes and so on. When we go back inside it, that treasury will not have fumes. It will have cobweb. It will have cobweb. We'll have to go with a cobweb broom. They used to have that long time. I don't know if people still use that. To clean out the treasury because they will empty it out. $260 million spent to build a Ministry of Health headquarters in Port of Spain. You know it rained last week. The building flooded away. $260 million, it flooded away. And when they say, well, what happened there? A fella jump out. He said, well, we had a little leak. But the leak come from the sky. So it flooded away $260 million, but the real cost to the taxpayer, which we have said before, and we will repeat forever, is $480 million. Imagine a building is $260 million, but the taxpayer is going to pay $480 million because it's part of their friends, their family, their PNM circle that making money from that. That is a big issue, brothers and sisters, we'll continue to deal with in the coming days. So brothers and sisters, those are some of the issues I want to keep within my time because any music come up now is not that the leader arriving. Huh? That's the next meaning for that music. So I will call upon you in ending. I call upon you. So now is the time. We are at an historic moment. We have unified our party. Barry told us we moved 18,000 members in 10 hours in one day. No political organization in the Caribbean can do that outside of a national election. We did it. We are today the envy of every political party. We have united, we have harmonized, we are strong together. We are on the verge of toppling the PNM. Do not accept their propaganda. Do not accept it. Bind together. We have to move forward together. So we can't have one side pulling to the right, one side pulling to the left. We must move forward together if we are to remove the PNM. Let us join hands, join shoulders together, hold the wheel, and the PNM will fall. We are seeing the signs of that. So tonight I ask you to stay united, stay strong. My brothers and sisters, I know Senator John will speak to us in a little while. I had something on housing, but she will address that as well. So thank you all very much. God bless our great party on this historic evening. God bless our political leader. God bless all of you. Love you.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you.
The Lion, ladies and gentlemen. Your next speaker coming to speak to you tonight is a tigress. She has a track record of entrepreneurial and management experience, excellence for over 25 years. She is a dynamic firebrand senator representing our great party in the upper house and has fought the La Hoqueta-Talparo constituency for us in 2020. She has served as a deputy political leader since 2017. She is a chartered accountant, certified professional accountant, and a certified management accountant. You hear the kind of talent we have in this party? Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Welcome, Sister Jolene John.
That's my UNC family, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar of Senior Council. This is real silk, not brown cotton. Real silk. Dr. Persad-Bissessar, members of Parliament, my NATEX colleagues-elect, members of the media, my UNC family. Thank you to MP Tanku and Chairman MP Amin, who MP Amin incidentally received the most votes in the NATEX election, 13,479 votes. Thank you for showing her your love and appreciation. UNC, you have chosen your NATEX in a robust, free and fair election to guide your affairs over the next 2 weeks. Thank you, Honorable Political Leader of Senior Council, for your cool head, your steady hands, your sure-footedness, and your brilliance. Yellow is the code. Yellow is the code. Thank you, UNC, for voting me as one of your deputy political leader for the 4th time consecutively. So tonight you could say, I'm recycling. I'm coming and going at the same time. The song I chose today is one they're using the just concluded South African election, a Zulu song. It shows the diversity of the United National Congress. Only the UNC, a black woman from Tobago, could come up with a Zulu song. In the UNC, in the House of the Rising Sun, there's a room and a space and a place for everyone. That election, 30 years after Mandela walked to freedom and won as the first president. Last week, President Ramaphosa was sworn in with a coalition government, as was Prime Minister Modi of India. It tells you the tides are changing. In the next 2 weeks, the polls are showing that the Tories are going to be out, Labour will be in the UK. It's too early to say what happened with Biden. No, they have a debate on Thursday. UNC, there are 2 other major elections looming, as I said, with the UK and the US. I say that to say UNC, we in the UNC have been placed on an election footing for some time now by our honorable political leader. I mean, people will be talking like kind of rubbish with them out, you know. They don't know the amount of work that we put in. If you don't know, ask. Don't go and run your mouth. Hush, yes, exactly. Don't go and run your mouth up and down the place. Do not accept that we cannot do better. The next general election will be about change, and change only comes for those who vote for it. In that regard, many people are depending on you. They are depending on you, UNC, to take them to the promised land, to take them to that higher mountain. They are depending on you for a job. So after the settling of your NATEX last Saturday, many people have reached out to me, as I'm sure they have reached out to you, to offer their support, wanting to join, to take some action. They just want us to point them in a direction. You open the door for them. That is what the UNC does. The house of the rising sun is there for everybody, unless you vote against us in Parliament. And yes. And then we say, be sure your sins will find you out, because it's long rope for Magagot, and we are not taking that in UNC. This UNC are taking that. I don't care what nobody say. We are taking that. And thank you. Thank you to the dragon, the Cascade Dragon. So you offer people to join a phone bank, to join your walks, to knock on doors, to make up a hamper, whatever it takes. Right, I want to congratulate Alderman the Great Vidya Mahabir and the Dabadi Amira team for the distribution drive yesterday at the Upper Malabar Community Center. They were giving out clothes, little and big acts of kindness by the UNC every single day. Yesterday, Arima was knocking on doors. The night before, Chairman Ryan Rampersad was concluding a football tournament. But the day after that, that was yesterday, he finds himself at the Miss Trinidad and Tobago finals. I don't know how that is. I can't wrap my head around that. But whatever it is, all across the UNC network, there are food banks, back to school drives, attendance at religious events, meals on wheels. UNC is in everything like salt. Don't let nobody fool you. Don't let Rowley tell you about he taking out no date from his back pocket. Rowley will not take he puny hand, or we don't know what puny with Rowley. You understand? We don't know. Because for a man not behaving so, something has to be troubling him. And it must be a puny matter. You understand? He wants to run his mouth all over the place. But he's lucky that our leader is a beautiful, gracious stateswoman. As far as the work on the corridor goes, rest assured, all of your systems are fully activated. I personally speak with whether it is Senator Naki, the coordinator Tunapuna, and Mr. Hamlin Chalal, Senator Roberts. I speak with Villiana, and they out of San Fernando West. We share notes. We look at what we are doing good. We look at what we are not doing so good. We are fully activated and ready to rumble UNC. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. And we take to adopt the best practices, analyze what works and what doesn't, and then we must report, sometimes weekly, to the United National Congress Election Management Committee. If you don't know, ask. Don't go and run your mouth with UNC business. You don't know UNC business. Stop running your mouth with rubbish. We have an Election Management Committee, and every week, every man has to go there, and they have to announce what they have done. They have to submit the work that they have done. They have to report to the Election Management Committee, and the campaign manager, Mr. Firoskan, we have clear objectives with rigid oversight and audits. You have seen the log that Alparo sworn in 17 party groups at one meeting. I've been reliably informed, PNM at 34. Now they are down to 21. Their ratio is 600 to every, one party group to every 600 voters in the area. They are down to 21. Isn't UNC competitive? Are we not doing well? We are doing well. So let us stop listening to these people who come all over the place and talking about UNC business as if they know UNC business. They don't know. They are trying to make you less confident in your party, to doubt yourself, to make you feel inadequate. But by now, UNC, you recognize the game players as you have been through many battles, and it is par for the course. Be not afraid. It takes steel to sharpen steel. And we are ready for Rowley whenever he pulls that date out of his pocket. We have been planning and we've been preparing for a long time. And we'll continue to do so, as our incoming party organizer has said. So, UNC tonight, you just keep going. I expect with our Northeast coordinator, You know, we are going to be working with our regional office in Tunapuna to ensure it is there to assist persons, the underprivileged, the underclass, those who are locked out and shut out of the PNM Silk giveaway, those who will stand firm in the interests of Trinidad and Tobago and not take $350 for any vote. That is a crime. Or you stop that in Trinidad and Tobago. We are not going to tolerate that. No one will deny the people of Trinidad and Tobago their UNC victory. No one will deny them their UNC Prime Minister in Kamla Persad-Bissessar. No one. No one. We are not going to tolerate it. I acknowledge the presence of the branch president of the OWTU Point of Prayer branch, Mr. Christopher Jackman, and thank him. I don't know if Mr. Jackman belongs to any political party. I understand their deep concerns for workers. What is evident is that they have decided to join the struggle with the UNC in the interest of the workers of Trinidad and Tobago. Since then, every single struggle the UNC has been involved in, Mr. Jackman and his team, they show up. Last week, Monday, they were at polling division 36-55, I'm not know if I'm right, or 35-66, whatever it is. That is what it takes. Hard work on the ground, because together we can. Yes, we can, UNC. Together we can. All kinds of interest groups are coming. And for context, the people who intend to join with us to support our cause, those who stand in the trenches, I want to repeat what the President General of the PSA said on Wednesday. The day that Rowley punied, to leave no room for doubt, PG Betty said, we cannot negotiate with this thing called the government. So we will negotiate with the next government. Therefore, it is our duty to make UNC the next government. I mean. This is a man who don't even know you. He has said it is our duty to stand with the UNC to make you the next government. That is clear and unequivocal statement. PG Leroy, but he's not playing games. He's not hedging his bet. He wants to help to elect a government who will be there for the working class, for the underclass, the poor, the shut out, the shutting. That is a UNC value, and we will join with that anytime. Because we are saying, if you're for us, you're for us. But if you're not for us, you are against us. And big crappo, little crappo, same handful of salt. So we are going to find the Judases, same handful of salt. We are not going to take that from them. So, UNC, just after your NATEX, I just want to say, was settled so definitively by you, and then PG Batiste and others, and it's threw down the gauntlet. They caught Rowley in flagrante delicto with his pants down. So he went and he triggered his sleeper cell, activate as a distraction. But you, UNC, are not distracted, because I'm telling you, tell the Judases, your sin, be sure your sins will find you out. The last time moral and spiritual values were used as a sword against us, you know what happened? We had to leave government on the 24th of December, 2001. That must never happen to us again. And if you are not for us, you are against us. So, which, by the way, don't let people argue you. Our constitution, our Honorable MP Saddam spoke about the constitution. It guarantees our freedom to be here. It guarantees our freedom if we wish to say praise the Lord. And it guarantees that freedom if we want to say glory to Hanuman. It is our constitution. It is our right. Don't let it make you feel as if you're less. You're not less than anybody. You are the UNC and you are proud. And you are great. You're a great party. You're a great party. So do not talk about this time. The people of Trinidad and Tobago are depending on you to get rid of this nasty, taxing, corrupt group of power-hungry, incompetence, and deceiver. And we are ready. We will not be caught unawares. Last evening, Rowley told the PNM, I asked you to stand by. Wait for the call, because in the middle of the night, the dawn might not be too far away. The UNC response, Prime Minister Keith Christopher Rowley, Mr. Man, if God be for you, nobody can be against you. And weeping may endure for the night, but joy, UNC, cometh in the morning. So UNC, keep hope alive. Keep running. If you want that taste of freedom, just keep running. I thank you so much.
Political leader, my colleagues on the National Executive, a pleasant good night as I take great pleasure in introducing 3 of the NATEX elect members who will support our political leader in visioning the UNC over the next 3 years. And I have great privilege in calling upon the chairman of the Sandy Grande Regional Corporation, our Tobago Regional Coordinator, Councillor Kenwing Philip. Next, our Northwest Regional Coordinator, Mr. Eli Zakur. Our South Regional Coordinator, the Deputy Chairperson of the Pinal Debe Regional Corporation, Councillor Shanti Budram.
Cause you're a sky full of stars. Cause you light up the path.
Good night, everyone. It is my pleasure to bring on Chaguanas East own home girl, our new Central Regional Coordinator, Member of Parliament, Vandana Mohit. Up next, we have a very young and brilliant lawyer, our Senator and our new Research Officer, Mr. Sean Sobers. And we also have my very good friend, the fiery and dedicated Northeast Regional Coordinator, Member of Parliament, Khadija Amin.
I don't care, go on and tear me apart. I don't care if you do.
The Honorable Political Leader of our great and glorious party, Sister Kamla Persad-Bissessar and Dr. Gregory Bissessar, executive members, parliamentary colleagues. It is my honor, privilege, and pleasure to bring to you the great membership of our party, the winners of the star team. First, Nicholas Morris, our new international relations officer.
I'm gonna give you my heart.
Our next winner is our new education officer, Brother Ravi Ratiram. And our sister who will fill our treasury because we need the money. Let us welcome Alderman Viliana Ramdas. And of course, brothers and sisters, election is around the corner, and we have to welcome our new election officer, Brother Anand Ram.
Cause you're a sky full of stars. Cause you light up the path.
Good night, political leader. Good night, UNC family. As we continue, it is my honor and pleasure to introduce a young, dynamic, energetic, fearless attorney at law, shadow attorney general in the parliament, and the standing member for San Juan Barataria, your incoming policy and strategy officer, MP Salam Hussain. Next, we have an experienced, hardworking, focused, astute, and successful businessman. He is a former chairman of DIPDEC under the People's Partnership Government, and is keeping an eagle eye on the constituency of Tunapuna, your incoming vice chairman, Mr. Hamlin Jailal. A UNC family, a UNC stalwart, hardworking and diligent, the MP for Opuch West, the shadow for finance in the parliament, the returning chairman, MP Devendranath Tanku.
Join me in welcoming the team that will give the kind of support, the solidarity to our leader. So as we move forward to victory, she will have a group of powerful men and women in her corner. The first person that I want to introduce you to is our new party organizer, Barry Padara. The second person is the dragon from Cascade, the deputy political leader, David Lee. Our sister, warrior, fighter, soldier, Sister Jolene John, deputy political leader. And I want to invite our colleague, our soldier, our fighter, fearless, the lion, Dr. Ruben.
My brothers and sisters, it is now the time that we have been waiting so patiently for. We will have the administration of the oath for the new national executive, and that oath will be delivered by the honorable political leader, which will be followed by the address, the feature address tonight, from the woman who started in local government as an alderman, who climbed her way as she represented the people of Siparia to become the first female attorney general of this country, who was the most innovative minister of education, who became the first woman to lead a political party in Trinidad and Tobago, and who became the first woman to be a prime minister in Trinidad and Tobago. Let us welcome the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar.
UNC family, UNC family, good evening. Thank you. I will now ask you all to repeat after me, and you will insert your name. Okay? So raise your right hand, and you will say your name. I. Okay, let's try again. Ready? I solemnly pledge to uphold the party constitution, rules and policies of the United National Congress, to strive my best to maintain the dignity of the United National Congress, to carry about myself and conduct all business in such a manner to bring pride to my party and in furtherance of the goals and objectives. So help me God. Thank you all very much. Thank you. We'll do a photo. We'll do a group shot after I speak because we could move the podium, okay? So thank you all. Thank you all. Again, thank you, everyone. Thank you for the chairpersons this evening. Can we thank MP Khadija Amin and MP Dave Tanku, who chaired our proceedings. Can we thank all the powerful speakers who were here tonight? Give them a round of applause. All parliamentarians, all chairmen, councillors of the various corporations, all the incoming members of the new UNC. NATEX, let's give them a round of applause again. They are now duly sworn in as the National Executive. We welcome specially the crew with Mr. Jackman from the OWTU. Let us thank them. They have been giving us tremendous support and very happy that they could join us today. All UNC members, to all the thousands of viewers and listeners, join us tonight via our live stream and our broadcasts. I want to say a special thanks to the elections management team. Mr. Daryl Allaha, Dr. Alan Sami, and Ms. Marilyn Martin. They worked through that process. Today, a democratic exercise in our great party. And whilst there were concerns during the day itself, prior to it, several concerns and queries, there has been no complaint filed in any court of law, and means that that committee carried out their work fairly, without fear or favor, fearlessly, without fear or favor. So Darrell and team, we thank you very much for your hard work. And I told him, he had called one day to make some queries, and I said to him, well, don't worry, those people who work in the police stations, we feed them. He said, what? I said, we also pay them. He said, what? But nobody feeding us and nobody paying us. Let's thank him for his work that he did gratis for us. And to all of you, we say we are UNC and proud. I want to take a moment of your time to pay tribute to our brother, Lloyd Williams. He was a founding member of our great party, and he was the first PRO of our party. I think Wade Markson will remember him very well. Today was his funeral. One of UNC's founding fathers, our great UNC's first PRO, Mr. Lloyd Williams. I pay special tribute here tonight to this great member of our party, a great soul, son of the soil, and a truly remarkable soul. Tonight I say, great UNC founding member, our dearly departed, beloved Lloyd, thank you for your service to our great party and our nation. May your soul rest in eternal peace, and may the UNC members always be inspired by your great legacy. I heard one of our MPs tonight talking about the shoulders of those who came before us. Lloyd was one of those. As we extend deepest condolences to your family members, your loved ones, on behalf of the UNC, myself, and my family, we express condolences, and may the good Lord keep and bless you in the time of your grief. Can we give late Lloyd, a round of applause for his service to our great party? I thank you. Tonight, I want to talk to our UNC membership with a spirit of gratitude and love. For the 6th consecutive time in our party's internal election history, you have elected the Star Slate as your incoming NATEX. Give them a round of applause and we congratulate the Star team. Since 2010, When I first led the Star Slate in the challenge for leadership of our party, this Star Slate has been re-elected over and over again since 2010, and we are now in 2024. So see the stars, how bright they shine. Congrats again, stars, in this election. On Saturday, June 15, 24, the great members of our party once more elected the Star team, endorsed by me, your duly elected political leader, by a massive landslide. Star Slate won. The Star team received 77% of the vote. The other slate received 23% of the vote. These results are in line with the historical results of our internal elections, similar to 2015 results. It shows that the vast majority of the membership who voted in these internals have maintained their confidence in the leadership of the UNC. This is the power of the great democratic principles that the UNC embodies. One man, one woman, one vote. And the majority vote by our members is the final decision maker. The membership has spoken resoundingly. And so, as I said before, this has been our 6th internal election under my watch. In all my years, I said it before, this was the worst, most destructive campaign waged by any slate I have ever witnessed since 2015. Well, 2010, 2015, and coming down road 6. The 7th would have been in 2010 when I was not the leader. It has been the worst I've witnessed. But you know what? The election results are now official. The time has come for our party to move forward from these internal elections. We are all UNC members, and there is a space and a place for every single UNC member sharing our values. We are all UNC. There is room for all. Members and supporters of all slates must now move on together for the greater good of the party and ultimately for the greater good of our nation. Supporters of both slates must now work together. All anger, bitterness, or hurt should be forgiven. I know it may take some time, which is the nature of life. There will be ups and downs all the time in our lifetime, but there will always be happiness, and therefore anger must not be there. We must always be able to love and forgive. I have seen in this party for many years, been here many years. This party is 35 years old. And I have seen, in the time that I've joined this party, I've seen the fallout with Mr. Robinson. You all remember that? The loss of government due to a fight, because of the fight between Mr. Pandey and Mr. Maraj and that team unity. You all remember that? We lost the government. We saw the separation of Mr. Pandey and Mr. Dukaran. We saw my challenge to Mr. Pandey. And you saw after that challenge, those who did not support me, I made them big ministers, you know. I brought them in after. I said, because we were all UNC. We are all UNC. We saw the departure of Mr. Warner in 2013. We saw the subsequent internals between 2015 and now. As I said, this has been the worst of all. Throughout all of these events, the UNC has survived, and we have always moved on. The UNC is bigger than any individual or ego. The UNC is a belief system. The party will always move forward. And so I can call on all members of each slate and their supporters to now forgive and move forward. I know it may be difficult for some people, but hanging on to anger or hurt will just prolong your mental and emotional anguish. There is a saying, hating someone is like you are drinking poison and you're hoping the other person dies. You are drinking the poison But you're hoping the other person dies. That hate will only kill you. It is up to each person to determine their way forward. During the campaign, when I went down to Oropuch, Debe High School, Oropuch East to vote, media asked me, so what is the way forward? I said that depends on the individuals. That depends on those persons who are contesting. It is not up to me. It is how they conduct themselves after the election will determine the way forward. So it's up to each person to determine the way forward. The behavior and actions of members will decide their progression or regression within the party. Agreed? The behavior and actions of members will decide their progression or regression. Do you agree with that? Yes, it depends on you. Each person has that responsibility to do their duty and to do it in the best interests of the party and of the country. That is not for me to decide. Their future is in their hands. Attempts to provoke me or the party, whether inside or outside of the parliament, will not have any effect on me or the forward momentum of the party. Attempts to provoke me or our great party, whether inside the parliament or outside the parliament, will not have any effect on me or the forward momentum of the party. I am not interested in fighting with anyone or any group within the UNC. My focus is on the upcoming general elections. I have been through it all within this party, and over the years, I have learned that pettiness, provocation, and political stunts for attention do not fool the UNC membership. It doesn't fool you. It doesn't fool you. All the stunts for recognition and front page in a newspaper and so on doesn't fool the UNC membership. Will never. Our great membership is very discerning and will continue to hold the party together. Our party is very strong. Never forget that. Our party is very strong. Never, ever forget that. My loyalty has always been and will always be to the rank and file membership of the UNC first and foremost. The UNC always comes first. The UNC always comes first. No person, no individual is bigger than the party. I have never run this party with any bitterness or anger to anyone, and I will continue to operate with love. MP Munal fought me in 2015 for leadership. MP Munal lost, you all remember that? Today, whilst others choose to be bitter and antagonistic, MP Munal chose to accept my offer to work together. Today he is a deputy political leader of our party. Deputy political leader of the party. I too have suffered setbacks along the way, but I have never betrayed my party or held any bitterness. I will remember one year, and I said I should go off script tonight because I want to stay on point, but I remember one year when we were in Mid-Center Mall, and I told you what, I will fall along and I'll do what, I'll dust up myself and get up again. That's what I did. I did not fight my party. No woman, no cry. I've never fought my party. So I've suffered setbacks, and that's life. We have, as I said, ups and downs. And then there's your behavior and your heart, which determines progression or regression. I just kept working for my party and the membership. True UNC members understand that the party comes first before personalities. We must now come together in the real battle. So we fought battles, but now it is war. We have fought battles, but now it is war. Political war. We must gird our loins. We must pick up our armor. We must pick up our tools, our weapons, and get out there to fight. Fight, to fight. Remember that. We must come together in unity, united. United as a party. United front, I heard your leader say. We must come together, united as a country, to move this wicked, corrupt government. So, I said we have fought many battles. Are we ready to fight the political war? Are you ready? We must come together in a real political war to unseat the government in whenever they call the elections. Why do you think Dr. Rowley went down in a family day, and I mentioned when Rudy was talking, a family day where you have people fighting and whatever. Yes, I mean, is that real? That's what happened in a family day. Can you imagine when it's not a family day? It's murder upon murder, home invasions, criminality at its highest, and that is where we must come together to remove these people. Once we move forward together as one party, with one common goal, we'll be successful in all our undertakings. So again today, I ask members and supporters of both slates to move on and let us move forward. Let us move on and let us move forward. I know whilst I'm saying all of that, you want to ask me, you want to know, what about MP Rai Ragbir? This was his behavior in Parliament last Friday following the vote.
Madam Speaker, the result of the division is 36 members voted in favor of. There were no votes against or abstentions.
Behavior in Parliament on Friday. Thumbs up to the PNM. Okay? So let's talk about this now. The National Executive has just been sworn in tonight. So we have not caucused on this matter. There are processes outlined within our party's constitution which will attend to this matter. MP Ragbir must be afforded a due process, and this will be done fairly according to our constitution. He will be afforded an opportunity to be heard and account for his actions. That is the process under our party's constitution. So that there is no back and forward and bickering and bacchanal and whatever. The party's constitution clearly provides what must happen in a situation like this. If his actions were an attempt to provoke me and the new Natex into engaging in some type of bacchanal and warfare, then his actions were mistaken. If this is supposed to be the launch pad for another Team Unity or Ramjack G-type bacchanal, just like those, it will go absolutely nowhere. The party has voted in a democratic election and is now focused on that general election. As I said before, the MPs who supported the other slate are welcome to continue working, and their future actions will determine their paths forward. Agreed? Their future action. I have no interest in engaging in any bacchanal with anyone. It has never been my way and will never be my way. You know, I've seen this before. I've seen this with previous persons who were rejected by the membership, where they become bitter and turn against the UNC membership. Trainees don't like to be insulted. If you are hurt and a bit angry about the results, okay. No, the party's constitution will deal with it in due process. That's just being human. Anyone can understand that. But you know, I have a serious problem. Invoking God, morals, values, and country-first narratives does not fool anyone in the country. Doesn't fool anyone. The good Lord tells us never call the name of God in vain. Never ever do that. So you're not fooling anyone with that kind of narrative. And it has become a tradition in our party. Whenever persons cannot get anything more from the party, they suddenly find God. You know? They didn't pray all this time, to win. They finally find God when they didn't get what they wanted. They find God and morals and values and love for country, yes. We in the UNC for decades have always been slandered as heathen. Some of us. Slandered as ungodly. Idolatrous children of a lesser God. That smear is nothing new to us. We continue to move forward. We are all, I tell you, children of God. All children of God. There's a very famous version which I like very much, but I'm not very good in the pronunciation, so I'll translate it for you. It says, Ishwar Allah, Tere Naam, and tells you thereafter, it doesn't matter what your name is. Sorry. You are still God Almighty. It doesn't matter by which name. And that is why, that is part of the PNM playbook. That because we look different, because we may worship in different ways, and I think every Trinity worship it every way, because we go to Christian schools, we have Muslim brothers. My daughter-in-law is of a Muslim family. My husband is a Presbyterian. And by the way, Darrell is Greg. Darrell is saying, you must take me back to the church in Superior, Presbyterian church. So we are all here. This is what Trinidad is about. See what Morgan Job used to tell me. See grace in every face, not race. See grace, because we are all children of God. And we are all, and will always be, UNC and proud. We are UNC and proud. We are UNC and proud. I thank you, and let me deal with Mr. Jindal now. You all ready for that? Okay. OWT want to hear this, huh? I see Mr. Jackman grinning from here to here. Last week, we saw the government meeting with an Indian businessman at the DIP Center regarding the Point of View refinery. This man is out on bail fighting corruption charges of paying bribes to government officials in India. So you'll see the, whatever it is there. Check the clip. So Mr. Jindal, not Munilal as you said, Mr. Jindal, out on bail, fighting corruption charges of paying bribes to government officials in India. When we look at an Express article, headline, Rowley unaware, Indian billionaire on corruption charge, Trinidad Express, June 19, 2024, just a few days ago. He say he doesn't know. Let me read from the people. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said yesterday he was totally unaware that billionaire Indian industrialist Naveen Jindal is currently before the courts in India fighting corruption allegations. You believe that? Rowley claims he was not aware of these charges. But the question which arises is who is vetting these people? Now from the time they posted the picture of Mr. Jindal and Rowley in the DIP Center, I have a member of staff who was so proactive. Within half hour, that is Michael. Give him a round of applause. I didn't even ask Michael. He just did it on his own lonesome. He did a Google and he found all these stories within half hour. You want to tell me an entire cabinet, entire government, with whatever all these agencies, you have all the units, you have SSA and so on, none of them doing a due diligence on people? None of them doing, if within half hour we were able to find this on the same day they posted the picture. But the story doesn't end there, you know. Who is vetting these people? Who is vetting them? You remember Delcy you mentioned? When Delcy came here during COVID with a team on a sanctioned aircraft, thank you, during COVID, sanctioned aircraft. They are meeting in the DIP Center. And Rowley had to go to tell the country, you know who exposed it? I'll take blame. I exposed him. I exposed it. And I asked, is it true the sanction plane came? Is it true this person, that person, that person? The man went and called a press conference. You remember that? He was stuttering. He couldn't even talk. He was stuttering. couldn't even talk. And he said, well, he didn't know who was with Delcy. Can you believe that? I was Prime Minister, sir. I can tell you it don't happen so. People can't just walk in my office. I don't know who come in. What? Could be a terrorist? It could be an assassin? Or could be a corrupt person? You do not hold meetings like that. No organization. And you know, with technology now, it's so simple. It's just a simple Google. So it's not like you have employed the whole SSA and the whole national security team. Look, we got it. I said, Michael got it within half hour. Thank you, Michael. Give him a round of applause. Thank you. And then, remember Delcy. And what about when Prime Minister Rowley returned to Trinidad, wherever he went, I don't know, and he made a big announcement. Bill Gates was going to give the country money. Bill Gates giving him $1 billion or zillion, I don't know how much it was. But again, did you do any due diligence before you made that big announcement, man? You are letting everybody take you for a fool. Maybe you are a fool. Maybe you are. So, anyhow, they seem to vet nothing. You know, up to now, we don't know this Bridgman's deal, who the owners are. Up to now, don't know about that thing leaking off Tobago. Nobody knows. We do no due diligence on matters and so many others. So let's look again at an article dated 23rd January 2024 in something called a Deccan Herald Indian newspaper. It tells us Jindal is facing corruption and money laundering charges in India. Let's put up that clip, please, Kivan. It's up there. I'm going to quote from that story. The judge directed Jindal to furnish a fixed deposit of ₹1 crore and not to tamper with any evidence or try to influence any witness in any manner. One of the cases in which Jindal is an accused pertains to irregularities in the allocation of the Amarkonda Murga Dangal coal block in Jharkhand. Maybe bad pronunciation, never mind. It's on the screen. And he's been investigated by the Central Bureau of Investigation. A separate money laundering case is being probed by the Enforcement Directorate in relation to the allocation of the coal block. A third case, it's not one, it's 3, and maybe more will come after we deal with the Point of Pear refinery. After he deals with it, there'll be more to come. The third case being probed by the CBI relates to the alleged irregularities in the allocation of Ultan North Coal Block in Madhya Pradesh. 3. Talk about corruption and money laundering. As one of you told us, you come to Parliament about whistleblower on Friday, and on Monday you meet in Jindal. And you don't know. You're telling the media when they ask you, I don't know, but look, the story gets better, or worse. Rowley's always up and down the country crying corruption and thief, and now saying it does not matter that Jindal is before the court. Yes, he said, they said they're not taking down Stuart, and said that too. Yes, they said they will make a decision by August, but I'll come back to that in a moment. Something, yes, for elections. Something is very strange with this deal. The government has claimed that Jindal has access to the crude oil for the refinery. I want to ask you this. Where did you really find Jindal? Did you find him in India? Or did you find him in Venezuela? Where did you find him? You know, India has one of the largest refineries in the world, and they have a drop of oil. They import oil to refine. So when Rowley shut down this refinery, he said, we don't have oil, we have to import oil. Damn foolishness. Total nonsense. Foolishness. Some other ulterior motive took him along to shut down that refinery. Let's move along. He's saying Jindal has access to the crude oil for the refinery. So where is Jindal coming in from? I want you to look at another article, March 21, 2024, Business Standard newspaper, India. Jindal Steel and Power takes on ops at Venezuela's largest iron ore mill takes on Venezuela's largest iron ore mill. Okay? March 21, 2024. The article, and I quote, Jindal Steel and Power Limited has taken over operations at Venezuela's largest iron ore complex, the first for a private-run firm in the South American country's heavy industry in over a decade, just months after striking the deal with Nicolas Maduro government. The story thickens. In March this year, story tells us that article, a company associated with Jindal took over the largest iron ore complex in Venezuela. What has been happening is that Mr. Jindal has been border hopping between Venezuela and Trinidad, cutting deals between the Maduro and Rowley governments. Now, I remember we had something with this before with someone named Wilma Ruperti, Euro Oil Shipping. You all remember that? Whose oil was that? Exactly. Cross-border oil. Where did that oil come from? I tell you, I really can't find the owner of that Tobago, but so many things they can't seem to find, but they could come in the parliament and talk about whistleblower and corruption. Running up and down. But they will not do their own. So what we are seeing is a Venezuela-Trinidad-India connection. Was it the Venezuelans who put the Rowley government on to Mr. Jindal to get the Petrotrin refinery? So I'll come back to that. Did any member of the government meet Mr. Jindal in Venezuela before he came to Trinidad? Look at this clip with Stuart Young and Jindal. This is off the Ministry of Energy website. Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, Minister Young meets with Jindal Steel and Power, India. But where does he meet them? In Trinidad. When? Last year. Last year. Look at it. And this is on the Energy Ministry's website. I'm going to read it. Minister of Energy and Energy Industries and Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Honorable Stuart Young, MP, along with Deputy PS Karinsa Tulsi, received an introductory courtesy call from whom? Mr. Naveen Jindal, Chairman of Jindal Steel and Power at the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, International Waterfront Complex, head office. Today, here the date, Monday, 27 March 2023. Monday, 27 March 2023, over 15 months ago, and you now come to tell me you don't know this man in corruption charges? You never even had a whole year and more, 15 months to do diligence. You bring this man in dip center making a papish and a fool of yourself and embarrassing Trinidad and Tobago. A whole 15 months, 27 March 2023, and this is off Minister Young's Ministry of Energy website. Mr. Jindal visited Trinidad and met with Young on March 27, 2023. It is on that website of the Energy Ministry. Mr. Jindal returned 15 months later in June 2024 and met with Prime Minister Rowley and others. So this government has been meeting with him for 15 months, but pretended they're only now meeting him for the first time. Don't let these people chain us up and fool us again with that refinery, man. They did for the last election in 2020, that's what they did. They're going to sell it to the OWTU. Lie upon lie. And here they are. Jindal was here, March 23. When did Rowley go to India? When did he go this last time? May 2024. A whole year after Jindal came and met them. Rowley claims he doesn't know about Jindal's corruption charges because Jindal's visit, here there's another line. They say the visit was as a result of Rowley's trip to India. You hear lie again? More damn liars call that. Blasted lies to fool the people of our land. He said that Jindal come down here because Rowley went up there. But this man was here when? In March 2023, meeting your government. You know, Rowley and the Energy Minister Stuart Young is in the pocket of Rowley You think he didn't tell Rowley Jindal come down here since last year? Who you fool in back pocket or front pocket, whichever? As JJ said, I love that. Small crapo, big crapo, same handful of salt. Same salt. But look at that too. Young is also, Barry's reminded me, a minister in the office of the Prime Minister, the Gary Sobers of Prime Minister Rowley. And you didn't tell him that man come here last night. So why you are lying to the country? Something more is in the mortar than the vessel. Something far, far more. So how is it possible? You didn't know this man on corruption charges because you say you meet Jindal in May this year when you went up the road, and then you bring him back here, invite him here, and think all those lies. How is that possible? Somebody have a time machine. This man could lie. Is the crude oil that Mr. Jindal is sourcing for the refinery Venezuelan crude? So he's saying we could give Jindal the same, we could, guess what, he could get oil. We don't have oil. Because they underproduced, the broad production to the lowest it has ever been in how long, Mr. Jackman? Decades. Yes, decades. Under this government, the production has fallen, tremendously fallen. So he said we don't have oil, shut down the refinery. And look what Jindal going to get oil from where now? Venezuela. Is this sanctioned oil? I warn citizens, this government is taking us down a dangerous path. This refinery deal is a corrupt cook-up between the Maduro narco government and this government with a corrupt businessman from India. Jindal is a go-between for Venezuela and Trinidad governments. It is a Maduro government who introduced him to Maroli, and they are behind the acquisition of the Point-a-Pierre refinery. Through Jindal, Maduro government will process Venezuelan crude here at Point-a-Pierre and escape the US sanctions. Or try to escape the US sanctions. This Rowley government is part of a scheme that Trinidad and Tobago will pay a serious price for. So we must do what? We must pick up our weapons, put on our boots, gird our loins, put on our armor, and go out for that political war, that great war that is coming, to move out this wicked, incompetent, corrupt government. So now that the internal election is over, and now that we have sworn in the new NATEX, we are going to immediately get on with the business of winning the next general elections. We have a team who has worked really hard. We have so many of you who are not on the NATEX, activists, councillors, all of you out there in this great party have worked so hard. We must make that greater work still, because victory will be ours. Victory will be ours. So when Rory goes down to Skinner Park, but he pull out the date may come out in the night at midnight, and something before dawn, Broly, you don't remember what happens at dawn? The sun rises. The sun rises. Sun rises. Every day, the sun rises at dawn. And come that dawn, we will get out there with our voting fingers. We will get early to those poll stations and cast a vote for the rising sun. Vote for the UNC. I had already opened nominations for a great party for the general election, so I think one of you told me they one step behind. And those nominations are there. We'll begin our screening processes. I think we got over 200, was it? 200 persons applied. We will consider if to reopen the nominations given the time frame, but we will have to start the screening for those who have filed their nominations. Yes, thank you. And as I close, I tell you that elections are over for the party's internal. The time has come for us to get ready for the general. We must never, ever become complacent. In this upcoming elections, every single vote will count. And we need you. We need your strength. We need your resilience. We need your committed effort. Now, I don't believe, Rory went down there, I think it's after the unions came out on Wednesday and hit him hard. They slapped him down real hard. Let's give the unions a round of applause. These are people who are committed to the workers, to the working classes, who will give their, wait all this time, blood, sweat, and tears. with blood, sweat, and tears in service to the working class. And so we thank them for their comments on the last day. And I don't think he will call elections before August, and I'll tell you why. Because he said something on that very day, that fun-filled family day. He said, a decision on Jindal will be taken in August. So what, you're going to call election and then go make deal with Jindal? So we'll wait and see. I suspect, and because I say this, he'll do everything to make sure it doesn't happen. So they will want to read another budget. They will want to do a budget in September of this year to come and promise you and fool you and try to fool you again. But this time the people will not be fooled, Mr. Rowley. You will not get through. You've lied too many times. So we wait. And I make the point, no matter when that date is announced, the sun will rise again on dawn of that morning. As of now, your new NATEX will be working hard to make this mission a reality for the people of our beloved country. And as I always tell you, you will have leaders, and you had leaders before me. You will have leaders after me. But you will never have a leader who loves you as much as I do. Thank you, God bless you, and reach home safely. Thank you all so much.
And every crack you see, you don't see through. And when the help of God, you